Hi YouTubers, I'm super excited to be sharing. See, I'm showing the Shimelle pen. This is my first layout as a Shimelle Contributing Designer 2016 design team member. And the first challenge on her Shimelle.com, we did a blog post on Monday, so there'll be new challenges each Monday, and then Shimelle will do the challenge. She'll do her Glitter Girl video on Wednesday, and then you'll also get another video on Friday and a longer post dealing with the same challenge. So Monday's challenge, this first Monday, February 1st, is a selfie challenge. So even though it's hard to scrap a photo of myself, this is like from a year ago. I don't take that many selfies, at least not with my face. Like I'll do feet and coffee cups and stuff like that, but I've got to make it a priority to get myself in scrapbooks more. So here we go, doing a selfie layout. And I'm going to be using Starshine. The paper on the left, the floral paper, is Mercury from the brand new Shimelle Starshine collection with American Crafts. And I love that floral, and the striped paper is a Heidi Swapp's September Skies from last season, from the fall release. And it coordinates well with this. So I always like adding like a bold floral and the stripe, and then I'm going to also use the polka dot pattern, which is Artemis. You'll see that in just a minute here. So what I wanted to, sometimes I have too many ideas for my head, and that was the case when I opened this Starshine design team pack. I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many ideas. I want to do this and this and this. So then I know that I need to sit down and do the first one. And so for this one, I had the idea to use of an envelope. So I thought this looked like a scrapbook page from a friend that you took out of an envelope. And so that's why I'm placing these triangles at the top, and I just cut them with my scissors. So that was my idea. So my inspiration was I needed to go do this right away. And then you see I'm going to add this little triangle, mark it with a pencil, and just cut it with my scissors. So no really fancy tools used for this. I did use my silhouette to cut my one little word, aspire. That's my word for this year. So I'll be adding that to this layout, and that's also going to be cut out of a Shimelle paper. And I really like the quality of this American Crafts cardstock, the double-sided cardstock. The way it's printed, you can erase your pencil marks and it doesn't take the color off. So I absolutely love that because I make a lot of pencil marks. I'm using my old Architect's brush to brush off the little eraser shavings. That's what that little brush was. You're like, what's that thing? So here I'm using my T-square ruler, and I'm just finding 4.25 so that I know that that center triangle is going to be at the halfway mark. And then I'm just adhering these down now. And it's cold. I'm in the studio. My studio is above the garage. That's why it's cold. So I pulled my sleeves down because I was freezing. See there, I'm going to use the ruler and just make sure I have that exactly at the halfway point. I don't usually measure like everything on my layout, but if something needs to be in the center, I definitely use that T-square ruler. Here I'm just showing you. See, looks like an envelope. So there's a picture of me. And I had the idea to use her wood buttons. This is from the Shimelle True Stories line. It's the last season's line. But I like that her different collections tend to coordinate. So I really like that. And this is a brand new Starshine paper, the one with the blocks, the square blocks on it. So I cut it. I like that it's a different scale. These ones with the little squares, this paper is a smaller scale. So even though I don't have the 6x6 paper pad, it looks like I have a different scale going on here. So I like that. And here you can see I didn't pre-plan this other than the envelope top. So, oh, I love those buttons. They're so cute. So you're going to see me move these around. This is how I'm just working out the design as we go. And I'm going to place her True Stories tags with vellum pack. I'm going to cut off the little snips right there Those are the extra little ends of the vellum that was going to be used to adhere to the tags that came in the same pack. But I just cut it off because I'm simply going to use my Xyron and adhere those little vellum strips so they look like they're printed on the paper. And the other reason I love to do this 8.5 by 11 size is because I can run it through my printer easily. I don't have a wide format printer, I just have a Canon MX320 printer that I print all my photos at home on, and I also print my journaling for Project Life and layouts. And I like when the journaling's printed on the background paper. So I will also run this through, and I'll just see there I cut that out with the silhouette. And that's this Shimelle Starshine paper as well. So here I'm just moving little bits around, deciding. I do like the title right under the photo there, but I don't like the fact that it's a little curved. I used Manhattan Darling. It's a font I had purchased from, where's that font place? Oh, Creative Market. I had purchased that Manhattan Darling. I think it's by Make Media Company. And replaced him on the sheet that I had measured and put my journaling on. So I use the Pages on a Mac. It's a program. It's kind of like Microsoft Word. It's super easy to use though. I find moving things around, it's a Mac program. So I use Pages and I measure where I want my journaling and it comes out perfect every time. So you just create a text box and add your journaling. So that's what you're seeing. Now I'm going to decide if I want to move the title down. So I'll just be moving each little section around here. So I might turn on the music for a little bit here while I just move stuff around. And moving things around. I just kept that in so you would see my thinking, the design process here. And this sheet, the little squares that I'm using with the different scales, this is a Galileo from Starshine. It's a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. And I like that there's so many different patterns in this one page. So I'm going to use quite a few of these on the layout. This navy one, I originally adhered at the top behind the photo, and then I changed my mind and I don't like the navy at the top there. And you'll see part of my design process here. I kept this in and didn't edit it out so that you could see how I came to my conclusions and how I changed it. What I decided was that I wanted since the top rectangle is pointing at the center of the layout, and the rest of the little wood buttons and the words are all centered, I realized that I didn't like an asymmetrical placement of the little pattern blocks that I'm placing behind the photo. But you guys probably already figured that out, that it needs to all be kind of symmetrical. So I'll change that up, but I wanted you guys to see how And so I'll just keep cutting more of these little tiny squares and different patterns out and placing them behind the photo, so that it's the focal point. I'm just trying to decide, should I put the wood button as the dot to the eye? Should I not do it as the dot to the eye? Because they're right there next to each other, but in the end I end up keeping the wood button and still using the dot to the eye. Here I'm taking the green polka dot pattern paper and creating a little label to go behind that bottom vellum piece because I felt like it just needed a little extra color at the bottom of the layout here. Yeah, right there. So I'm going to put it behind the little vellum tag. And then I don't change much except for the little blocks behind the photo. Except I'm going to get this all adhered down now. A final little bit of moving around. So thank you so much for joining me for my first Shimelle Creative Team assignment, the Selfie Challenge. And make sure you visit shimelle.com for more challenges every Monday. Thanks. Bye.